My friend of 10 years has found out that her husband is cheating on her. And I told her, of course he is. You have been enabling that behavior for years. See, this starts back when I met her, when she was crying in a corner in college. I was married at the time, but I approached her because she was crying to see what was going on. Well, apparently her boyfriend at the time, who she was engaged to, was also engaged to another woman. He had spun the story that he was working late nights when he really wasn't. He was actually living a double life. How did she find out, you ask? Well, her and her boyfriend had matching tattoos. And you say, how can he have matching tattoos and his fiance doesn't say anything about that? Well, she had the same matching tattoo. Yes, he made both of them get the same tattoo to show how devoted he was and love with both of them. She found out on Instagram when a friend of the fiance posted him and her together with the matching tattoos. She then messaged the fiance and got cursed out. Yes. But the fiance broke up with him and she broke up with him. And I was there through it all. We was in college and I was confident in her. She came like a study buddy with me. Every night we'd be together working through her issues and working on homework. And she's probably part of the reason that I even passed that class. A win-win. Now, when we graduated, I guess I was the only thing stopping a terrible decision from happening with the world's worst excuse. He, throughout the time, was messaging her, calling her all types of bad people, a bad name, and how he wanted to be with the girl, and she ruined that and all that, and she would spiral every time. Well, apparently, he flipped the script, saying that she was a very special woman and that he did not want to lose her. Now, we graduated at this time, so he wasn't as close as we used to be. But when I caught wind of this, I said, that's probably the same thing he said to the other girl. And when it didn't work out with her, he's trying to review his plan B. She said, you don't understand him and you don't understand our love. You're right. I don't understand. He's obviously full of shit. You don't know. They got back together. They got back together, and you know what that did? Piss me off. But hey, not my monkeys, not my circus. Go ahead, whatever makes you happy. So they got back together and they were together for years. And then COVID hit. COVID hit and she couldn't find a job. So as a friend, I introduced her to my company and she got hired and she likes to gossip. She is a messy girl and I like to gossip. So we were back best friends, just gossiping at work, talking, and she ended up getting pregnant. Now at this time, she is married to Mr. Man and she's pregnant and he starts working late nights. Late nights? Of course, as a Q&A at a technical firm, of course you work a lot of late nights. And I said, you're pregnant? He's working late nights? Sound like he's cheating to me. No, he's not. You've never liked him. You've never gave him a chance. You always think the worst of everybody. Granted, I've never liked him. I've never given him a chance. And I do think the worst of everybody. You're right. However, when the first story you hear about someone is that they got matching tattoos with you and another person that they've been living a double life, tend not to like that person, especially when that person they did it to is your friend. But I digress, right? So, he's working late nights. She's pregnant. She has the baby. Whatever. She chooses to stay. And I say, hey, that man is probably cheating. And she says, no, shut up. Bad friend. Cool. I shut up. Because last thing I want to be told is to shut up. So I shut up. Fine. Not my monkeys. Not my circus, right? Well, one day, in full circle, 10 years later, she is crying in a corner. She's not crying in the corner. She's actually crying in her cubicle at her office. But it's more, it flows better in the story if it's like when I first found her crying in the corner. So for the story's sake, we're going to say she was crying in the corner even though it was at her cubicle. What's going on? My cousin, she found my husband on a dating app. He's been cheating. Now, nobody is shocked except for her. She's the only one shocked. And I say, in not my proudest moment, yeah, of course he is. Of course he is. He's probably been cheating for years. She says, why did you say anything? I did. I did. And when I said something, you told me I was a bad friend. And you know what she said? You know what she said to me? You are a bad friend because a real friend would have tried harder. I don't know what came over me. I snapped. I snapped. Maybe it was years of me telling her that he was cheating and me being right and her not listening to me being called a bad friend. Maybe it was her calling me a bad friend and saying I should have tried harder. Maybe it was a combination of stuff all piled on at once, but I snapped. I said, you should have known he was always going to cheat because he was always a cheater from the beginning. A relationship that starts in cheating is going to end in cheating. He cheated on you with the tattoo thing and you still took him back even though he said the dumbest lie in the goddamn world. Anybody would have thought that was a lie. You still took him back. And now when he started working late nights and somebody tried to tell you that somebody was me, you didn't want to listen. And when you had to take care of the baby alone because he was still working late nights, you don't want to listen. Now he's on a dating app and now I'm a bad friend. No. I tried to tell you and you did not listen. We obviously drifted apart after that. Our relationship was a little rocky. She was at work crying for days on end and all we pretty much just say hey to each other. And that was about the gist of our relationship. Because at the end of that rant, I told her, I'm going to go back to my wife and kids because I don't work late at night and I am loyal. Which, in my finest moment, she didn't have it done. She didn't have the rubs out in the womb. But when people call you a bad friend, that tends to take over on you, right? So, days go by at the office. And one day I'm in the break room. I'm in the break room and I got in my headphones. I got in my headphones because that's how you get the juiciest gossip. When people think you're not listening, but you're actually listening, but you got in your headphones so they don't know, right? I'm listening to her because she's in the break room talking to another friend. And she said that she took her husband back. And you guessed it. You guessed it. She took him back. She took him back. She took him back. And guess why she took him back? Guess why? He said that he was on a dating app because he was trying to test the loyalty of his cousin's girl. That's why he was on there. Not to cheat, but to test the loyalty of his cousin's girl. Do you believe that? You don't? You don't believe that? She did? She believed it? She took him back? How come you don't believe it? Oh, because it sounds like it's full of shit. I figured you'd say that. I took out my headphones and I said, you are dumb. That is obviously a lie. This man has proven time and time again that he's going to lie in order to get you back. And time again, you are believing it. You cannot stay with this man because he's going to keep lying to you. She got mad at me. She got mad at me and has been bad-mouthing me to the office. Now I am the topic of gossip. But when you go around listening to gossiping, it's going to come a time where you're going to be the one being gossiped about. So I can ride this wave on out, But I had to tell somebody because at this point, it's getting a little trauma at work. And I might quit, might not, might just ride it out because as gossip happens to happen, a new story will come along and this will blow all over. But one thing is for sure. You're not going to try to tell me that I was a bad friend.